Welcome to the United States of Tiffany. Our commentary offers a humorous take on wrestling. Please note, we're not bullying or attacking the wrestlers. We're engaging with the choreographed sport and its storylines. Our jokes and observations are about the characters and storylines, not the real people behind them. Tourists and citizens alike, welcome. Enjoy the show, and remember, it's all in good fun.
Okay. Look. Oh my God. WWE know how to ruin a wet dream, don't they? Well, I don't even know what to say. Because I saw this coming. I knew it was coming. And I still was like, they might just let things slide and then set it up later, right? Right? Nope. The show kicks off. Jey Uso is injured. He no longer is a part of the chamber due to the attack he suffered on Smackdown. To this day, no one knows who the fuck is doing all of these random ass attacks. However, they seem to only be targeted at bloodline members specifically. Specifically, Jacob and now Jey Uso. Now we move into how we got to the point where Jacob and Logan Paul were battling it out for the last slot since it was open for this particular chamber. Now, to make a long story short, okay. Hold on, let me turn my fan off in here. Let me make it short and sweet. Jacob went to Nick and told Nick to put him in the chamber. He said that Drew McIntyre is continuously costing him opportunities at his championship, even though he claims he did not take out Jacob Fatu or knock his teeth down his throat. He also said that I want Drew McIntyre, and Drew McIntyre keeps finding ways to duck me. You put me in this match, and you want to take care of the problem of Drew McIntyre, and I'm your problem solver. So, out of fairness, Nick Aldis said, let me talk to my people and see what I can do. I'll get back to you. Jacob say, cool. Not too long after that, here come Roly Poly and his merry band of losers. Walking in, talking about some, I'm here to gift you a member and a person for the chamber. Hold up. It's a 22. Yo nigga got beat up. Bronson Reed is laid up somewhere while he was trying to qualify. He's now laid out for 4 to 6 months. Everybody else that's in there, Logan Paul included, they had an opportunity at the chamber. As far as I'm concerned, you should have been in the back of the line, and one of the SmackDown people should have been able to get that slot. But of course, they had to make it even. So a SmackDown person got to have a match, and Logan Paul got to have a match with Jacob Fatu. Now, you would think that Drew McIntyre would mind his fucking business, right? You would think that he would just go home and wait to see who won Chamber, because he would only have to face off against one person in Chamber. And I mean, after Chamber, and even if it is Jacob, he's outsmarted people before. All he would have to do is buy his time until Mania and beat Jacob at Mania. And then it'll be a one and done. You won't have to worry about it, right? At least in theory. But of course, with Drew McIntyre's brilliant mind, he can't seem to see the writing on the wall. So we're stuck in this hell of him constantly involving himself in shit that don't have nothing to do with him. He comes out there talking while everybody is chaotic backstage, trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. And while he's rambling on and on about being a truth teller, I will give him this. I do not believe he was the one who attacked Jey Uso. I don't believe that at all. It would also be too obvious for it to be Jacob as the one who attacked Jey Uso. Whoever attacked Jey Uso, and I hate that I'm saying this, please forgive me, is also the person who attacked Jacob a few months ago. I was hoping it was Drew, just so we can wrap everything up in a nice little simple bow. But something is telling me that it wasn't. And I'm leaning more towards it probably was Randall, because he looks like he's about to start turning into a villain sometime soon. Although Aleister Black will like to believe that he has some power and control over people, the weakness of his character right now really bothers me. But I'll get to him in a second. And his bitch. I'll get to them in a minute. Look. Just to give you guys a clear rundown to make it short and sweet, everybody came out there. Cody came out there and was like, Drew, I feel like whipping your ass. Drew said no. Then here come Randy. Randy said, Drew, I'm gonna whoop your ass when I get to you after Chamber. But Cody, you know, he was like, look, you and I got beef, because it's every man for himself in this Chamber. And before he could finish saying what he had to say, Trick Williams came out there and the whole crowd went bananas. Then after that, here comes Javon Evans. Smack Trick Williams back in the back of the head. And then here come LA Knight. Everybody had something to say. Everybody had something to say. Until they got punched in the mouth. Trick Williams and LA Knight was fighting in the back. And then my nephew Javon got RKO'd in front of everybody. Now the last two people standing was Cody Rhodes and Randall Keith Orton. Now in my opinion, Randy should have at least attempted the fucking RKO. But some sinister shit is going on here. Okay? I ain't been able to quite put my finger on it. But I feel like shit is about to get ugly. It's about to get ugly in these streets. But we gonna wait and see, because I have the strangest feeling that not only is Drew McIntyre going to have to defend his championship in a fatal 4-way at WrestleMania against Randall Keith Orton, Jacob Fatu, and Cody Rhodes. Whoever wins the Chamber is irrelevant. All four of those men, including Drew McIntyre, will be competing at WrestleMania. You mark my fucking words. Now, after all that, we move on. Poor Jay, he didn't deserve to get treated like that.
It's an easy way to set up that fatal 4-way.
I guess.
No, I mean, because Randy and Cody are in it. Let them be the final two.
No. You don't even have to use the Chamber to do that. You can to make it easy, but you don't have to. Because Nicholas told him if he keeps interfering in his business, he gonna do something that he regret. And he definitely did it today. Now, if I'm Nick, right, and I'm watching Smackdown and I see you interfere, I'm gonna bide my time. I'm gonna wait until after Elimination Chamber, and whoever wins, I'm gonna be like, look, Drew McIntyre has cost Jacob Fatu every match that he's ever been in to qualify for this match. And Drew McIntyre has cost Cody Rhodes every match he has been in to qualify. I guarantee you he'd be at that chamber match. I guarantee you he's going to interfere. I promise you he will. Either way, the first match of the night went to this shit. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't give a fuck about what's going on here. I don't care. It's just not worth watching. Okay, it doesn't mean that it can't be. It just means that it's not. I don't like the incessant. The Wyatts are not being. They're not being aggressive enough for me. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if WWE is telling them to fall back a little bit or whatever. But I remember when Bray Wyatt, and just the Wyatts in general, it was a very much cat and mouse type of situation with them. And there was no way that they were going to be just outsmarted and then constantly looking weak. Even when they failed, they still were a strong villain to contend against because of the mental gymnastics. And while I understand that Bray isn't there anymore, there's still the element that the Wyatt Six creepiness could still be up in the ante. I don't understand what they're doing. I'm confused. When this is like a regular ass group, if this was like Miz's group, or if this was some some random ass group that they created, if this was Judgment Day, then it would make sense for me, right? But we're talking about the Wyatts. They're supposed to have supernatural shit on their side. You're supposed to be master manipulators. Where is it? Where is the fun of it? Like, you're not even utilizing that to the best of your advantage. Like, God, I don't know what's going on, but you're taking the piss out of it, mate. Like, we missed the elements of the Wyatts that made them the Wyatts. There's a reason why that name rings fear, or at least it should. And for y'all to just be taking this man's legacy like this and tarnishing it, y'all are on some fucking bullshit. I don't know what's going on, but I don't like it. Fix it. And this is not about the MFTs. The MFTs are doing their job. They're supposed to be heels, and they're maintaining what they're doing. My problem is how the Wyatt Six are responding to what the MFTs are doing. They ain't menacing enough for me. Okay? They not torturing them enough for me. And I need them to be going at their necks. I need them to be on their ass every week to the point where they can't eat, sleep, shit, do nothing. I want full carnage. I want full manipulation. I want full psychological warfare. I want war. And they're not giving me war. This shit is boring. It's boring. And I'm just not with the shits. I'm not with it. Now, Uncle Howdy won the fucking match. Tried to get his lantern back, and Tyler's big ass kicked him in the face. So it was like, where the fuck was the Wyatt Six at the whole time? You know what type of shit? This is my thing. It be the logic of it all, right? Like, let me make it as clear as possible. Logically, I know, like, most people are going to track your behavior, right? Like, I put it this way, AJ, if you know when you was fighting somebody and they hit you in the face with a chair once, you know at some point that motherfucker gonna try that shit again, right? So you're gonna either move the fuck out the way or get the chairs before he get it.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Now look, why are y'all trusting that the MFTs are going to keep their word? The MFTs stayed in the back the whole time the match went down, and Solo lost, which proves that Uncle Howdy said was true, right? Problem is, when he got ready to get his fucking lantern, you motherfuckers were not where y'all was supposed to be. Where was you at? Because how could you trust that them motherfuckers was going to let you get that lantern without fighting for it? They hang on Solo's teeth like it's the last last milk they're gonna ever get in their life. You are a damn fool if you think that the MFTs are not somewhere hiding, waiting for the opportunity to protect their leader. You're stupid. You should have known better. You should have known better. Like, come on. And I do. I want problems. Give me chaos. Do something. But you're saying, like, what are you doing? You legit sat there and let that man take your shit in your face. Not only that, but this man has been taunting you with your deceased brother's legacy this whole fucking time. And the only thing y'all could think to do was to run out there and run on the barricade and just sit there while they walking away with your shit. Oh my gosh. That is the wildest thing to me. Like, ugh, I hate it. Anyway, Uncle Howdy won, but the Wyatts still don't have a lantern. And they seem lost. And I guess that's the point. Because they don't have a lantern, they lost. Doesn't look right to me, but I would imagine the lantern would guide them back to the MFTs and continue to keep them there. But whatever. Bum ass Tiffany had a match today. But it ain't this match. She had a match with Asuka. It was impromptu. She beat Asuka. I mean, she beat Kairi Sane. Because Asuka came out there with the switcheroo and she basically was like, I'm not wrestling you. I'm smarter than that. I got a match tomorrow. I could possibly go back and be a champion again. I'm not going to risk that on little Tippy, Barbie, Tacky, Toopy, Boopy. I'm not going to do that. So Kairi, get your ass in there and do it. You a subordinate anyway. Get your ass in there. Kairi Sane did what her mama told her to do. She got in there. She probably would have won the match if Chelsea and them wasn't out there causing interference as much as they were. I low-key wish Chelsea would have cost Tiffany the match, but Tiffany ain't lost a match since her ass came back, which is very baffling to me. It's extremely baffling to me, but whatever makes you happy, okay? Later on in the night, Jordan Grace went up against Candice LeRae, and as Candice was in the midst of the match, she had control during this time. Fucking Johnny Gargano decided to wake up from his slumber and then continue to walk away, which caused Candice to get distracted and ended up suffering a loss to Jordan Grace. So Jordan Grace is back in the winning side of things while Candice is still on quite the loser streak. And meanwhile, her husband walking around like he done lost everything he done ever bought. And I wish he would take his low rent raggedy ass back to NXT and go on over there and be the general manager for a little while so he can stop getting on my goddamn nerves. Okay, that's what I need him to do. Johnny Gargano, get your ass over to NXT. Please. Thank you. Y'all knew this match was coming. Obafemi went up against Miz tonight, and Obafemi decimated this motherfucker. They tried to have a little verbal war back and forth, but Obafemi wasn't trying to hear it. Obafemi basically told that man, Mike, you a dead man, you gonna die tonight. And Mike said, what? He said, yeah, you gonna die tonight. And that's exactly what happened. We watched a massacre on TV. We watched Red Rum happen right before our very eyes. Okay? Obafemi has been booked extremely strong. He is very much over, a superstar, if you will. It is only a matter of time before he is looking at that title picture. I say by this time next year, Obafemi will have either competed for that championship or he's going to be in Elimination Chamber next year. I promise you that. I promise you that. With that being said, another match. Carmelo Hayes had his United States Championship open. He was saving that slot for Ilya Dragunov, to which Ilya declined because he didn't feel like he was worthy of the chance. And Carmelo's like, look, I've been giving you this opportunity 2 weeks in a row, and you keep squandering it. What the fuck is going on? And he's like, look, I don't think that I've earned it. I've been on quite the loser streak. I just lost a title last week. I'm trying to recover and get myself together. You need to go out there and be him. You need to go out there and be the guy. He was like, I don't need no pep talk. I'm not the one who need to get myself together. It's you. It's you. You the one who out here broken, acting like you can't do shit. I'm the champ. I know what I am. I know what I gotta do. I know what I've been doing. You need to be finding who you are. And then he walked his ass out there. So we got Matt Cardona base versus Carmelo Hayes, and Carmelo Hayes did beat Matt Cardona. It was quite the feat, though. Matt almost had that motherfucker. So it was a fun time watching. Now, we had a few backstage segments. The box is still backstage, and a lot of people are still conspiring and trying to figure out who the fuck is in this box. They don't know who's in the box. Now, my homegirls over on the podcast, Alexis and Nicole, they think it is former AEW star Danhausen. Now, if you've never seen Danhausen, I won't spoil it for you, because if he pops up in that damn box in Chicago, bitch, all hell gonna break loose. But a lot of names have been spoken as to who could be in that box or what could be inside the box. Jericho was another name that was thrown around. And given the fact that we have seen that he's under an ironclad contract, I say that term very loosely, it seems as though it is very possible that the box could have any number of people in it. But it looks like the surprise is going to have to wait until Chicago. And that's when we'll find out who's in the box, if anybody's in the box. With that being said, we also had to run into Samuel. Samuel seemed to be going through it lately. Okay, he's very rattled, very frazzled. He went up to Jacob Fatu and told him, congrats on your opportunity. But if I'm being frank, one could assume that you probably was the one who attacked, Jay Uso. I mean, it was not too long ago that you was in a match. I was in that match with you. I lost that match with you. And Jacob Fatu was just like, he like, where are you going with this? And he like, Jay Uso gets attacked. You ride with him in the ambulance and come back, and you on 1,000, and you go talk to Nick, and all of a sudden you get an opportunity to get an elimination chamber. He said it don't take no motherfucking genius to figure out that it possibly could have been you. He said, now, what's T? Jacob, like, you better watch what you say. The next word that come out your mouth, you better choose them words very, very carefully. He said, look, I'm just calling it like I see it. He said, you want to get your hands on Drew? You're not the only one. I want to get my hands on him too. He ain't just cost you a match. He cost me a match too. Jacob was like, cost you a match. You got cost a match? Really? Because I don't think he claymored you. He claymored me. He claymored Cody. But he never touched you. And if you ask me, it sounded like and it looked like he was trying to save your ass so you could win the match. That's when Samuel said, Reggie? He was like, yeah, that's what you did. He said, look, I'm sorry, Jacob. I just ain't been in the right frame of mind as of lately, and shit just ain't been going right. But you go out there and you win that match and you had that. Now, Sammy trying to recover, but it just seemed like this loss that he suffered to Drew McIntyre at Saudi is really fucking with him. And instead of him dealing with the internalized demons that he keeps letting speak for him, he tends to put his foot in his mouth. Now, when it comes to Cody, he wasn't wrong with what he said to Cody. He actually was spot on. He was right on the money. But when it comes to Jacob, if Jacob wants you, he coming to get you. He don't have to do no sneak attacks to attack you. That is about a person who's trying to hide in plain sight. Whereas Jacob has always been very boisterous and in your face. If he attacks you, you know that he's going to do it. You see it coming. This person who did this attack is intentionally hiding what they're doing so that they can continue to operate as someone who is an ally and not somebody who's planning and plotting behind the scenes. So you have to think in terms of who would be the least likely. And right now, that person would be Cody Rhodes. If you really think about it, Cody is the most plausible. Cody has the most to gain with Jacob not being in the chamber. Cody had the most to gain when Jacob got taken out when all his teeth got knocked out. And Cody would have the most to gain by removing Jey Uso out of the chamber. Not only that, but him attacking Jey Uso to get him out the chamber, that'd be a little bit far-fetched. That'd be a little far-fetched for him to do that. Because him attacking Jay just leaves the spot open for somebody like Logan Paul to weasel their way in. Which in hindsight, because they attacked Jay, it could have been one of the members of the Vision that just did a copycat attack. Because there hasn't been another attack since Jacob got attacked. This now is the second attack. So, deductive reasoning, ladies and gentlemen. We have to put 2 and 2 together, okay? Like I said, Cody Raheem Rhodes is the most plausible, least likely suspect to have committed the atrocities. However, like I said, a person who is hiding in plain sight, pretending to be an ally, and has done the worst of the worst will always be the one that you least expect. So it's between Randall Keith Orton and Cody Raheem Rhodes, in my opinion. Now, could it have just been Drew just to wrap things up in a nice little bow? Sure. Sure. And the way he went after Jacob tonight and how he's been going after Jacob since his attack, it doesn't help the situation. However, I will say this. Drew McIntyre does tend to tell the truth. However twisted it may be, oftentimes he is telling a version of it. He usually switches around a few details to make himself out to be the victim. And then he'll leave out things or omit certain truths. But most of it, the baseline of it is true. Yes, Drew McIntyre has not been able to be a part of a lot of the festivities as of lately. No, he hasn't been needed. There's no reason for you to be a part of the festivities. You need to be sitting your ass down somewhere, waiting to see who your opponent is, not interfering to try to orchestrate who it should be by your hand. And that's why Nick Aldis needs to make this match a fatal 4-way going into Mania. Simply because he can't mind his fucking business. That's the problem. Now, I warned y'all Wednesday, that if these two, Rio, lost these damn titles to these two, y'all know what's gonna happen. I'm finna book this match for you because I'm finna tell you what they about to do. Next week when they had their celebration, the Bella Twins asses is gonna pop up. They're gonna be in Portland, Oregon next week. And once that happens, that's gonna be the beginning of the feud between the Bella Twins and the Irresistible Forces. And that's how we're gonna go there. Okay. Now, once you can go. You can go. Thank you. Once these two go to WrestleMania to go up against the Bella Twins, they're going to drop them tag team titles. Something tells me that Triple H wanted to protect these two top stars in Rio. They had them drop the titles to Lash and Nia so they could just drop them at Mania. I know it's happening. And I told y'all, if Rhea's ass lost these titles today, she is a top contender to win this Elimination Chamber. Now, am I forgetting anything? I don't think I'm forgetting nothing. Now she fucking know. You fucking know. Oh, shit. Well, I don't think I'm forgetting anything. Logan Paul beat Jacob Fatu because Drew McIntyre involved himself in the finish. He hit Jacob Fatu in the face with his belt. Match is over. Logan Paul is the one to replace Jey Uso. I hate the fact that Logan Paul is in Elimination Chamber again. I don't really care for Logan Paul at all. I'm not interested in watching him in the Elimination Chamber. I was interested in Chamber before because it was a nice mixed bag of people. But now I don't fucking know. I don't know. I'm just tired. And there's only so much defending you can do. Elimination Chamber is tomorrow. It starts at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're in Chi-Town, it's more than like or on Central Time, it's more than likely going to start at 6 p.m. They are going to have a kickoff show or a pre-show rather that they're going to run through these matches and run them down into the ground. I don't like watching those shows because they irritate me. So we're not going to watch the pre-show or the kickoff. But if you care, CM Punk is facing off against Finn Balor for the World Heavyweight title. And I predict, obviously, that CM Punk is going to retain his championship going into WrestleMania to face off against one of his greatest adversaries in Roman Reigns. Then we have the women's Intercontinental title match. Becky Lynch is facing off against AJ Lee. AJ Lee has been coming after Becky Lynch for months. And now it's time for them to finally meet in the ring one-on-one and no distractions. But I guarantee you that y'all favorite Becca is going to retain her championship. And this is not going to end here. It will end at WrestleMania in Las Vegas. Finally, what was the Elimination Chamber has now changed for a third time. Jey Uso is out and Logan Paul is in. Logan Paul, Javon Evans, Trick Williams, Randy, Cody, and LA Knight will all compete to determine who will face off against Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania. But I have a sneaky suspicion that two of the people who will compete against Drew McIntyre at Mania is in this match. You could take a guess as to who those two will be. Now, if they don't make that into a fatal four-way or a triple threat of some kind, I'll be shocked. But, whatever makes you happy. Moving on, the women's elimination chamber is probably the most unpredictable because you could have any number of people win in this chamber. 4 of these women would be viable and actually decent winners in this match. Raquel Rodriguez, Rhea Ripley, Alexa Bliss, and Kiana James all could put up a good fight against Jade Cargill, especially fuck ass Kiana. Now, me personally, if I'm going to go full on star power, I'm going to pick Rhea Ripley. And I know that's not what y'all want to hear, but Rhea doesn't have to beat Jade Cargill at WrestleMania. Shocker. Her ass just needs to be on the bill. Now, if you want to go with rebuilding or doing some new building and building new stars and actually setting up the future, then maybe you should go with Raquel Rodriguez because you can have a double entendre here with storylines. Raquel could be going after her own goal, leaving Judgment Day and Liv Morgan to her own devices. Liv Morgan will go first on the first night and lose to Stephanie. And as Raquel is competing against Jade Cargill, she should come out there and cost Raquel her title. This should be the catalyst of the Judgment Day beginning to deplete and break down, and those two should start a feud of their own. Or you can always start the feud early and do what Nicole said, which is have Raquel pick Stephanie anyway, even though she would have to go up against Jade Cargill. Me personally, I don't think WWE is that creative enough to allow that to happen. I just don't. I don't think they're that creative. Charlotte eating ice cream is me when I'm sad and depressed. Okay. Like, I got ice cream in the freezer right now. Jade and Raquel and Meech in the B5 segment. What you think they doing with that? I don't think they're doing anything with that. I think in terms of Jade Cargill and Raquel, Jade Cargill was talking to everybody. So she had a segment with just about everybody. Kiana, Alexa, Asuka, Rhea, I don't think she walked up on Tiffany. I didn't see her walk up on Tiffany, but she had a little segment with just about everybody. So the segment between her and Jay Cargill didn't really move me or phase me. It didn't bother me too much. The Meechin and BFAB segment we've seen since last week. The girls have returned and they stalking her like they should, making her be on her P's and Q's. Stop allowing her to feel like she's untouchable. As a champion, you shouldn't feel that way. You should always have your head on the swivel because you have something that people want, that have been wanting and needing. So no, you're not going to be safe out here in these streets just because you have a fucking championship. You should feel uneasy all the time, which is exactly what they're doing. They do not possess the vernacular to make that happen. It ain't even the vernacular, it's just the balls. They need the cojones. They don't have them. And they're not pulling the trigger on a lot of things because they don't think things through. And they don't have a backup plan for things either. But one thing they have done and one thing they do right is NXT. Stand and Deliver has been announced that they're going back to St. Louis, and Saturday, April 4th, Stand and Deliver will be its own entity, which means NXT will stand on its own, no pun intended, rather than anchoring WrestleMania. That's going to be a very interesting time. However, there is a PLE before Stand and Deliver. Class, would you like to know what that PLE is? I'm going to tell you anyway. The PLE is Vengeance. NXT Vengeance is March 7th, which is literally next fucking week. It's next Saturday. We got back-to-back PLEs, ladies and gentlemen. Anywhoosies. NXT Vengeance Day is March 7th, and Tatum will face off against Izzy Dane for the last time for the NXT North American Championship. And I hope that crazy bitch get that title from that girl, because Izzy's a boring-ass champion. And I didn't see this on Tuesday, but it looked like Lola Vice has decided to revise her underground match because that is what's happening between Kaylani and Lola Vice. Lola Vice is gonna be the one who has the upper hand in this match. And I love you, Kaylani, but you need to get your ass whooped. You've been terrorizing this woman and she didn't do shit to you. Everybody else kicked you out the locker room, and I don't see you going after none of them hoes. Jada Parker was right there. She was one of the main ones stepping on your shit. You didn't do that to none of the other girls. None of them, including some of them Evolve girls. I ain't seen you going after Nikita's bum ass and nobody else, but you decided that Lola was going to be your main target. You decided that she was the one that had to suffer the wrath. So I hope that in that underground match, you get your ass tore up. Do you hear me? I hope you get every bit of the ass whooping you have earned and deserved. Okay? I hope you get it. And I don't have the infographic for right now, but I will get it later. Ricky Saints will go up against Joe Hendry for the NXT Championship. So, we shall see. Okay. We are tired. We are tired, babe. It is inevitable. Now, next week for NXT, we got a couple matches. The Speed Tournament has 2 new contenders. Okay, for the women. Red Sinclair is going up against Nikita's stupid ass. And Izzy and Tatum are probably gonna have a contract signing or face off again next week. And NXT women's title match. Jason Jane got a back-to-back title defense. Bitch, I'm surprised. She facing off against Zarya. Now, something tells me Zarya is going to get her ass whooped either during this match or she's going to get her ass whooped before the match, because Soul Ruka got to get her lick back at some point. She tore your ass a new one last week. Anyways, the tag team title, the tag team champions, and the current Evolve champions, all of them got bad haircuts, is facing off against Hank and Tank and Shiloh. And that's it. They ain't showing what's gonna happen on Smackdown and Raw next week because we got Elimination Chamber to look forward to, baby. It's a lot going on. But you know what? In order for you to be excited, you have to clear your mind of all the stupidity that we have seen between last night, tonight, tomorrow, and Monday. Clear your mind of all stupidity and just focus on it's going to be a good PLE. We're not going to be worried about it. We know Chicago going to be hypey because they hometown hero going to be there. We're going to let that be the catalyst for it being a good night. That's it. That's all. Because we don't have nothing else to hold on to. Okay? That's it. Shallow in that damn tooth, child. Release your inhibitions, please. Please do it because it's killing us right now. And I want y'all to be very clear. I want y'all to understand something. If you come in my comments being transphobic, being fat phobic, being homophobic, I'm not even going to argue with you. I'm just going to block you. Okay? One of y'all decided to come in my comments and just go off talking about y'all. Oh, look at the trans women. Nope, blocked. Not going to argue with you. Not talking about it. Have no desire to have no debate about nothing because I don't talk to ignorant people. I'm just going to block you. Now, I don't know what's wrong with y'all, but it seems like because y'all are so used to seeing the same women, you know, the ones that be on their back on a certain site that starts with a P and ends with the B, y'all are used to seeing certain things. You don't understand that women come in all shapes and sizes, big, tall, small, fat, skinny, and all that good shit in between. So some of y'all seem to be quite lost in the sauce. And it has more to do with y'all than it does with the women that you see. Not to mention, there's nothing wrong with trans women, but using trans women as a attack on cisgender women is disrespectful. And I'm just not going to let you do that. So if that's what you're coming over here for, keep your ass over there on your shit and go live on your shit and do that over there. But over here in these streets in the United States of Tiffany, it's not allowed. You will never be a citizen nor a tourist, nor will you be a diplomat of my country. Okay, you're going to get your ass the fuck up out of here because that's not how we roll over here. Okay? We don't roll like that. Period. No tampon. That's crazy. We're not rolling like that. So keep y'all shit together. Now, I have a few announcements. For some of y'all, I have a few announcements. Now, y'all need to go over there to my video that I just posted. I have a short up there for Wrestle Each. Y'all need to go blow that shit up. Okay, go watch it and go like it. Be nice. I made a quick spaghetti and then I made a short about it. Go over there and watch it. Secondly, on Sunday, y'all will get 2 episodes of Reading and Chill. It's coming. Okay, I'm getting ready to edit the video tonight and get it up and scheduled to go. 2 episodes on Sunday of Reading and Chill. I may release it Saturday night after the PLE, especially if the PLE is bum. If the PLE is ass, then y'all will be able to listen to me read the Black as Fuck history book and finish it out. We halfway through, baby. We almost through it. But it's a good book either way. You learn a lot by reading that book. So y'all can bring y'all asses over here, get y'all something to eat and drink and listen, okay? And learn yourself something. All right. And then in a few weeks, we're going to finish reading Rico's chapter. He done wrote another chapter. So we're going to get into Rico's stuff in a few weeks. But I want to finish reading the Black as Fuck history book. And we might get another one and read another book. Okay. Because it's learning and caring. We got to learn. Learning gets you together. Learning gives you knowledge. And knowledge is what? Say it with me. Power. Okay. You must know. You must know the truth. Now, if you would be so kind as to do something else for me, since y'all are here, get your asses over to my Stuff I Want to Talk About podcast and go listen. There are 3 episodes up there. Reddit posts. We done did 2 episodes of Reddit stories, and they're very good Reddit stories. We done did an episode of TikTok stories. Them TikTok stories are fucking crazy. Okay, y'all got to go over there and listen to that TikTok stories one. Okay, go over there and listen to it. It is up. I want y'all to blow that up too. Be my friend. Love me. I love you. All right. And I will see you guys next time. And if you want to see more Wrestle Eats shorts, I can do the shorts. The shorts are much easier to edit and get up there. And I will do longer form videos if that's what you want me to do. But I need y'all to let me know in the comments what y'all want from me in terms of content so I can do what caters to what you guys like. Majority wins. So if you guys want to see more cooking stuff involving the wrestlers and all that kind of stuff, cool. I'll do that. If not, I'll just focus on this. And with that being said, I'll see you guys tomorrow after Elimination Chamber. Please, please, please do not expect anything for Elimination Chamber. Keep your mind open and just watch the show. I promise you, it's an easier way to watch it. Otherwise, you'll be like me and your brain is just going to be fried because you'll be screaming into the void and nobody will be listening. Trust me. Just shut your brain off and have a good time. I will see y'all next time.
Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe for more wrestling content. Check out our merch and consider becoming a member for exclusive perks, special emojis, and members-only content.